Hello, welcome back to Magic with Melly. As you can see, the thumbnail is the Hermit and the Tower card. And it says, watch out, hide from danger. All right, the Hermit card is definitely that isolating and, rebuilding, okay? Because stuff may be falling apart. And it's so that better things can fall into place. That's what I've always said since middle school. And so take that into consideration moving forward. Things fall apart so better things can fall into place. And maybe it's time for this alone time. Newfound alone time, new hobbies, new ways. Because we definitely want our old structure, our old everything to be left in our past. If it caused us any pain, we definitely don't want to return and repeat any cycle. So when things are falling apart, take that as it's not meant to be. Take that as, you know, that you need to rebuild, maybe either somewhere else or start over. Yes, maybe go back to basics here with the moon. But this isn't back the deck energy for the collective. I realized I didn't turn the light on. Does that help you guys at all? Or is that not much of a difference? You can let me know. I don't know. But we have the moon card as the back of the deck energy. Let's see what's behind it. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so that's beautiful. If you know how to conceal your energy and even utilizing the moon and its effect on us you can really amplify if you understand moon cycles and understand yourself and what the different phases of the moon mean to you and what how it affects you. The moon changes phases every few days. It changes zodiacs, is what I mean. And so you can really tap into yourself by journaling that if you want. But I'm going to be doing today's reading a little bit differently today. I'm going to be just channeling the situation with tarot, with an original tarot deck, just to see what's going on with the collective live here together. As I normally do, but I'm not using like a fancy deck. I'm just using a normal tarot deck today. And then I have a few pre-shuffled oracles that I'd like to share with you, and I'm really excited. But anyway, let's see what's going on with the collective. Cards keep coming up, but I didn't have it. Okay, let's see what's going on for Melly Mondays collective. Let's go. Messages for the collective here. Okay, I have a 5 of Wands reverse, a 3 of Pentacles, an Ace of Pentacles reverse, and the Hermit reverse. Let's clarify this 5 of Wands, please, Spirit. Let's see. Page of Pentacles and the Hanged Man reverse. And I'm seeing also, let's clarify these. 10 of Swords reverse and the Queen of Wands. And I'm just going to show you the spread there. Oops, I didn't mean for it to collapse like that. But, so from left to right there, that is what I'm reading. Okay, and we have another Hermit card, but it's in reverse. So definitely, let's see what's up with that. I think that the point of resistance is over, right? That we're feeling a lot more free flowing towards what we want to do, at least, and with our free time. We use our free time more self-oriented or self-focused rather than others focused. If that's not an energy you're in, maybe that's an energy you should, that you're looking for, or tapping into recently, because we do need me time and times where we can treat ourselves, and we also have enjoyment when we treat other people. And so finding a good balance of how much do you love giving versus love receiving, and it can that be, is that not that you can measure love per se, but that you can measure sort of how much your needs and wants can be met by another, like by how they behave naturally. For example, with physical touch, um, in romantic connections, some individuals don't need as much physical touch, and some individuals need it a lot more. And so, if you wage, how much does this person like that, versus like, would it just be like unnecessary for them and their love language is something else, and you need to shower them in more words or more gifts. And that is how you need to really maybe discuss with the person or the situation that you're in what boundaries or what is wanted or asked of you, whether it's a career situation or intimate situation, like what is what you want out of the situation, and sort of communicating that, like, so you can ground it. You can, sometimes the first step is even just saying something or having an offer. And I feel like now that a lot of you have created an offer and maybe even told or given your offer out, the next step is how can we work together? How can we meet each other in the same perspective? How can we push go? I feel like there's some interesting energy as far as maybe uh, delaying having to have a conversation, or delaying having to share information, or like get somewhere, because you're worried about what you're worried about rejection surrounding your offer. If you were to be your truly authentic self, I think, if because I have this 10 of swords, so I feel like, and then it's right underneath our ace of pentacles, but in reverse. And the way I'm seeing it is, you fear rejection. You fear your authentic self being rejected so much that you hide it. The danger is being dangerously in love, I think, with some of us, because it is dangerous. It is risky to give your heart to someone, to offer yourself to someone, or offer to work on things with someone. It is really risky, right? And so some of you, the situation is you're hiding too much, so much that it's a self-sabotage situation. But some of us, it's like you need to pull back a little bit, because maybe you've like created this amazing offer all wrapped up with a package, like in a bow, and you're like, can't believe like someone wouldn't be in love with me, or wouldn't like want to continue dating me, or whatever. Like, you just feel like you're like the whole package, and then you're still not treated a certain way, or you're like fearful of the rejection surrounding certain elements of yourself. And it could be kind of circular. It could be layered as well for a number of the collective. But here, moving forward with the Hermit, Reverse, and Queen of Wands, I think with the Queen of Wands, I feel like you guys are really attractive. Like, maybe even very sexual, very sexy, very divine. Just definitely, you got it, okay? And because of that, maybe you're getting a lot of attention and you want to kind of internalize. That could also be a thing too, right? Here in the collective, that could be the dangerous thing with having one connection or very few connections that are important to you, and then you have a lot of other attention on you. You don't know what their intentions are, and if they're going to make you look some type of way. I know that occurs sometimes with individuals that have a lot of attention on them. Such would be the current affairs with the celebrities. Whenever there's anything going on with the celebrities, it's sort of a hot spot, and a lot of people have either love or hate. And I think that you yourself should focus on your own love and the love in your life. But you will be directed hate. You can't really avoid that. If one exists, the other has to exist. There's a duality with that. So there's love and hate. You will experience both. And it's a matter of what you'd like to accept in. The back of the deck here says justice. So essentially just being your own judge and like having your own sort of court order, right? And you're like, what's the verdict? Are they good or bad for you? Are they guilty or not guilty of whatever you are thinking? Keep in mind, and this is a general message, I think, is just not everything you think is right. And so just be careful with that and really question yourself too. Like be the judge of your own self, like, and your own thoughts. And then wonder if you're casting that onto someone else or projecting that onto someone else. Because it's really embarrassing to project and then, maybe realize it later, or even not realize it at all. I think it would be even more embarrassing to not be bothered or concerned by something that is like so openly worrisome. Like if you didn't see anything wrong with what you do, but it is like clearly wrong. I think that is what is very, very, very embarrassing. So as long as you're like self-aware enough where you're like, okay, yeah, I've been there, I done that, ha 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 ha, like I am a fool, I am a joke, but then you're like, I was a fool, I was a joke, like I'm not that anymore, like transitioning these things and cycling, like meet yourself as a new person every day, and meet new people, and even your like people who have always been in your life, meet them every day as if they're a new person, because you never know when someone's perspective can change, or like they can have a change of heart on something. I know that just experiences, or what you witness, what you see with your eyes, or just meeting somebody can definitely transform your way of thinking. And when you transform your way of thinking, and then you apply that to your life, you suddenly become like in a different place, and then you look different. Then and it's a wonderful thing, and it could be very like overwhelming to be here, not there, not in the past, not, and it's just like, it is a lot of power, because you could change yourself every day. You could make a decision that could, bring you somewhere else. And it'll be like a domino effect. I have these oracle cards that I'd love to read to you. These cards say, I recognize I have chosen fear and I choose again. I choose love. And so that is similar to when I was saying love and hate, right? Earlier in the reading, just saying like love exists and then hate also exists. And it's like about choosing. And here's recently, maybe you guys have been choosing fear and choosing the dark elements of coping. Some of us don't really handle very well, and it's comforting to go to your vice. But then when it comes to your virtues, maybe then it's a polar opposite, and then you find yourself like shaming yourself, like the angel and the devil are like arguing. And then I did get a question if I was a Libra. I saw that. I am a Sagittarius. Thank you for being a part of today's reading. But choosing love, like it's a choice. You recognize that you can just let go and be like, okay, I'm afraid because it means something to me of some degree. Like, and taking that, what would you do with it then? Would you just do it if you know it means something, especially if you know it's important to you? And so just having, oh my goodness, this card, confidence, it comes with time and practice. 23. So confidence, it's really good to just be confident. When you choose things, I definitely am one to be fueled by, like, if I'm gonna make a decision, it's gonna ruminate a little bit. I'm gonna like let it boil and like let it simmer and be like, okay, this is gonna be like a stew of awesomeness, right? Before I make the decision. And some of us don't really have like a formula of decision making. And that's okay. Maybe this is your message to start like having new rules for yourself, where a prime example would be with like tattoos. If you want a tattoo for long enough, give yourself maybe 6 months or like 2 months. I don't know, a year. Whatever number is agreeable for you, apply that and be like, okay, I'm gonna wait this long. If I still want it, okay, I really want it, you know? And that's what I mean about like choosing love and making like you'll feel good when you yourself feel good, and then like it's fueled by that, and like it's double point. But then if you don't feel good, and then you don't feel good about your decisions, and then you act on the decision but you didn't feel good already, in the aftermath you're gonna be like, oh man, I already knew, you know? Like, and that's about like your intuition and following that guidance. If you feel really surely good about it, that's your go move, not any manipulative tactic, not any funky energy that is pushing you a certain way. Like obligation and something that you sincerely would do or want to do are two different things. You can feel really obligated in a situation because of a promise. You know, definitely if you said you would, that's when you start feeling obligated, because like the offer is there on the table. Or when you have been like coerced and someone else's idea, and you're just like, if at first your response is uncomfortable, I would just say, listen to that, listen to how you feel about things. Listen, and let that boost your decisions. But then think of like a greater scope of what what would certain things do for me short term versus long term. You are perfectly imperfect, number 34. So even on applying yourself in your decision making, okay, say you want to start fueling a hobby as a source of income. Some of us really aspire for that and don't really want to be working 9 to 5, don't really want to be working shitty jobs, don't really want to be like underneath, in some structure. Not everyone agrees with that. And so with that, when you apply yourself in or any workspace, not even just in an artistic space or self-employment space, but just any space, just applying yourself in the sense that you are perfect and then both not perfect, and accepting yourself is one thing, and then when you're in a connection, it's accepting the other person, and who you believe them to be, I believe, because it's definitely love is through the eyes of like you fall in love with the little things that you fall in love with individuals. It could be the way that they make a noise when they sleep or something, or the way that they do a little dance when they're happy. I don't know, it could be like really really small things, but that is like through the scope of your experience. And others, for you, like they have a unique way of viewing you in the eyes of love, and vice versa. And so how you love yourself and how someone else is going to love you are a little bit different. And so if you have needs and wants, make sure you meet those first, and the way someone else will love you will just add to it, instead of like being like a puzzle piece and trying to be like, here we kind of fit but not really, and then like because we're morphing every day, right? Think of like a ever-changing puzzle. I don't know, I'm being very metaphorical now, but it's like thinking like you're a puzzle and your pieces kind of change every day, and like the parts of you change every day, and so when someone else, and so you're like always piecing yourself with like a piece that's also changing. And like think about how complicated that is, but also how like beautiful that is when like things do line up, but it's like one edge at a time. So there's always like a little part of you that's like connected, and then like there's like you as an individual and like them as an individual piece. I don't know, like it was that really cool. I'm just kind of going on a tangent on that, but 5s and 7s and 3s could be significant numbers for you guys here, because we have another 7, personal growth. And I love that it's purple, because we were earlier talking about like intuition and like listening to that, when I was talking about when your intuition is like telling you something and like you kind of like don't feel the best about it, like you don't feel as solid or confident about it, but you kind of go anyway because you're like, I'm gonna do kind of like a trust fall or whatever. If you find out yourself to be like regretful, then you realize like your mistake was not listening to yourself. You lead your own life, so it's like whatever your inner self says, that's your guidance, that's your like little map of like, all right, this is, and it could be as detailed as you want, but I think you could be a lot more stress-free if you kind of let things free flow, and like I was saying earlier in the reading, reapproaching everything like a new day, like a new person, like you're a changed puzzle piece and they're a changed puzzle piece, and you're like, all right, what's going on today? and see what's up then. and continue the cycle, or stop the cycle, you know, because sometimes you find that the repeated rejection is like you don't take that, or you find that the pieces do fit very often. Surrender procrastination. This card says, now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. So next to personal growth, I think if we're in general looking for manifesting energy in our connection, or just in general bringing in the person that we are wanting, because everyone's going to have, like, you know, a different situation, whether they have a partner or they don't have a partner, whether they're working on their business or just they have assignments to do for work. This surrender procrastination is like, put your focus on your success, like being financially successful enough to have the things that you want more solidly. I think that some of our living situations are very sensitive, or even some of our work situations are really sensitive, where some of us are new, maybe new students or are students. You don't have to be new, but it's all about kind of shifting and adjusting to, we're in work mode, because procrastination is just like the I don't want to do it kind of energy towards your responsibilities. And it's like your set of responsibilities are kind of like the gas of a car. It's essentially its use is just to, you know, you put it in the car and you have a tank and you go, you know, and it takes you places. And so with that, like, consider just the things that you have to do is so you could have fun later, or so you could do what you want to do later. But like, not putting off the things you have to do, because it does kind of help you clear things. If there's bills, if there's just anything you're worried about, I think things that we're stressed about, procrastinating indirectly adds to it, because you're just prolonging how long you're worrying about a thing instead of just doing it. So just a word on procrastination: if you are sensing yourself procrastinating, it could be rather you need to take a mental 5 and be like, let me organize my thought, like, you know, my mind space on it, so that my body, you know, mind and body, so that my body will be able to pull forward. You know, and just give yourself 5. How do I organize myself forward? And that could be the application with the surrender procrastination, how to like release, how to jump onto your goals and like get there. We have surrender to joy, because when we feel successful, it's like a key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. And so definitely, when you have good times, double up on this good energy, double up on it. When you're hanging out with your family, loved ones, who cares? Like, who cares if you're the first one who has to say it? Someone's got to say it, okay? And be like, let's hang out again. Like, let's do this again. Because, like, not everyone's gonna have that courage. And then, like, I know there's like, it's kind of an interesting like mob mentality thing, where it's like, if no one's doing it, then no one's doing it. But if one person does it, then it's like, okay, it trickles like a second person and like a third person, and like it's kind of like that. And so surrender to joy. If you feel good, double up on the energy and be like, yeah, I'm gonna add to this. I'm gonna keep this going. Being mindful of your responsibilities, of course. You don't want to like overspend. I definitely don't want to be like, yeah, have fun, and then like the balance flips. So just make sure that you're keeping your balance and being like, all right, I am gonna have fun, and then I'm gonna need to go back to work so that I can have more fun. And like, it's like a seesaw. Aren't those fun when you have another friend with you too? So it's like, go for it. This card says release. It says you have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving forces of the universe. And that's exactly this similar energy with any sort of balancing I've been mentioning in this is really like is releasing, you know, unwanted energy. So like if you want a lot of love in your life and you're seeing a lot of hate, well then release that, you know, and then like soak up the love and release that too, like into the world as appreciation, you know, release it as far as like you don't have to take it in, and it could go to where it belongs. If you feel like you don't belong, if you don't deserve hate, then you don't take in the energy of hate. That energy gets sent back to the sender. All right. And that's a beautiful thing about karma, is then karma then gets to fuck them if you let the universe do it by releasing. But with the card of release, I also am interestingly wanting to talk about having, when we discuss release here, I also want to mention the importance of like earlier I was saying about not being resistant and, you know, grounding the energies here with the Page of Pentacles earlier in the reading. But releasing anybody who's not taking you in, or you know, appreciating you, or even showing up for you in the way that you need to. That could be what is this storm warning is all about. I kind of held my breath there because it's like a lot of us aren't gonna really be expecting some things that are gonna happen, but with personal growth, I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. Escapist, come home to yourself. 32. With love, sometimes if you showing yourself love, showing yourself what you want and need, offends someone else and they treat you a certain, like, if then they're not in alignment with you, and you can release that. You know, you do not have to, you're only as attached to them as you wish to be. And you could really come home to yourself and come home to growth and allowing yourself the change in environment to grow as if a plant. You know, you do need to have good soil in order for a plant to be proper, a proper situation for a plant to grow. You need to give it its nutrients, and so you need to give yourself what you need. I believe in that. I sincerely do. I think there's a lot to celebrate about everywhere you've been. And because of that, because you have so much experience and so much reward, so much resilience, so much power, so much of you, the right things for you will come in as well. It's just a matter of here, it's a matter of taking your storms and utilizing your resources to keep on pushing on, you know, like survive, and like giving yourself the most optimal chances by taking the opportunities as they present themselves. You know, do not hesitate on things. Just letting go of fear, because that is definitely an unwanted energy. You know, we were saying about fear, that in the past we've been choosing fear and you choose love. So if you release fear, you're choosing love. You're choosing what you want to do, right? Because if you're like, oh, I want to go out, but I'm afraid of, but what? Like, being afraid just stops you. And there are, you know, there are valid reasons for things, but as well, you know, weigh out how reasonable you are being, or how like not reasonable you are being, and do what you can to celebrate yourself, because you do have it all under control. You are in power. Okay, that is the reading today. I don't have anything else. Okay, your intuition will definitely guide you towards or away from people. If you listen to your heart space, do you feel anxiety? Do you feel calm? Do you feel nervous, excited? Do you feel happy, sad, angry? Do you feel triggered? Are they helpful with your triggers? Do you feel like you can work on yourself and they can work as well? Like, or do you feel like it's an ultimatum situation? And if it is an ultimatum, is it healthy? Is it for good intent? Really discuss and consider these things, because again, we have Justice, back of the deck, and King of Swords, the need to protect yourself. King of Swords could be very a harsh energy, so I think well deserved with some people. I think some people are maybe hard to trust. You know, there's a lot of red flags. Really consider what would be like, look into the future and consider if you would be happy in your dreams, in the dream space, and then reapply. Because you can plant your seeds now to grow what you want in the future. And, you know, water the seeds and see if it cultivates. Just be careful of what you can take care of. Know what you can handle and what you cannot handle. If you deal with more than one partner or one partner, ensure that you can handle the one partner or multiple partners, or one job or multiple jobs, or one baby, multiple babies. However it resonates for you, make sure that you can handle it. And if you can't handle it, ask for help. Anybody who's going to be complaining about the help that you ask for is giving from maybe negative, or maybe they are negative. Consider if they are a positive influence in your life or not. Even if they are helping you, their word and their voice can be very harmful. And just, yes, that is about all for the cards. Just all things to consider. Make sure that your support is actually supportive of you and not just double-edged or something, you know. And that is all, lovelies. If you need time and space, give yourself time and space. Make sure to communicate, and you know, where it belongs, where you feel it deserves, because some people don't deserve your time and energy. And so make sure that you're doing you, and you are choosing love, your own self-love, and sharing that Okay, goodbye.